Let me first of all introduce myself. I'm Tariq JCI Colombo, chapter for the year 2020. Thank you everyone for joining in today on our webinar. I would like to now inaugurate the webinar of JCI Colombo on the value of JCI for entrepreneur. Call to order at 4:06 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Next is the recitation of the creed. Let me call upon JC Mohan Silva, who is our Director International, to take on the proceedings. Mohan, over to you for the JCI creed. Everybody, I request you to raise for the JCI creed. Mohan?
Yeah, all right. So we believe that faith in God.
We believe
faith in God.
The faith in God
gives meaning and purpose.
Gives meaning and purpose
To human life.
To human life.
That the brotherhood of men.
That the brotherhood
of man
transcends the sovereignty of nations.
Transcends the sovereignty of nations.
That economic justice. Can best be won by. Free men through free enterprise.
Free men through free enterprise.
That government. Should be of laws. Rather than of men. That earth's great treasure. Lies in human personality. And that service to humanity. Is the best work of life. Thank you all. And over to you, Tariq.
Thank you, JC Mohan. Please be seated, everyone. Thank you very much. So, next in the agenda is the welcome speech. Once again, I would like to cordially welcome you to the webinar organized by JCI Colombo on the topic of the value of JCI for entrepreneurs. We believe this is a timely topic amidst the challenging business environment. This program aims at giving you more insight on how JCI as an organization can help in some of you to build networking and create business opportunities locally and internationally. I sincerely hope this 1.5 hours will be very useful and productive to every one of you. At the end of the session, we have arranged a Q&A session where you can ask all your questions, and you will be able to get clarifications from our faculty today. Preetham sir. Thank you. Next in the item would be recognitions. The chair would like to recognize the presence of JCI Sri Lanka immediate past president, JCI Senator Anas Hussain. And the chair would like to recognize the presence of our trainer for today, JCI Senator Preetham Goswami. And also the chair would like to recognize the presence of JC Madurai Central President, JC Muthu Ganesh. The chair would also like to recognize the presence of Rajesh Subramanian, President of JCI Hosur Lake City. The chair would like to recognize the presence of Yashwin Rodrigo, immediate past president of JCI Colombo. The chair would recognize the presence of JCI Senator Khalilur Rahman, 2015 JCI International Vice President. And also the chair would like to recognize the presence of JC Imran Khadir, the the current president of JCI Dhaka. And also, I would like to recognize the presence of Amit Ingurani. Amit Ingurani, who is a senator from JCI India. And also, I would like to welcome everybody, all the entire team participating. I'm sorry if I had missed any names, but I would like to recognize everybody. Thank you so much for joining in for our seminar today. Now, next in the agenda is the introduction of our speaker. Now, I would like to invite our treasurer for year 2020 of JCI Colombo, JC Shamshad Nizam, to do the introduction of our speaker for today, JC Senator Preetham Goswami. Over to you, Shamshad.
Thank you very much, JC Tariq, our current president. Good evening, everybody. JC's distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to quickly introduce myself. My name is JC Shamshad Nizam. I'm the treasurer for JCI Colombo, chapter 2020. I would like to welcome you all to the online workshop organized by our team, and welcome those of you who have come online remotely, all international JCs, especially JCs from India, Bangladesh, Nepal, and all participants. Thank you for your valuable time. I would like to extend our special warm welcome to distinguished guest trainer, JC Senator Preetham K. Goswami, to this wonderful session. I recall back in 2019 in India, I participated to one of your training sessions in Nalanda. Sir, I would say give me another chance to participate in Nalanda. It was an amazing event and you did a wonderful job, sir. I still remember the eye-opening activities and how you managed everyone to engage and inspire all the participants. It is that connection makes it a privilege for me to introduce you today. Mr. Preetham Goswami is a chartered accountant, an author, an internationally acclaimed motivational speaker, a life reinvention coach, and a social activist. He holds a postgraduate diploma in HR, followed by another diploma in information system audit. He is also a certified master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming from the UK. He was honored with International Training Fellowship by Junior Chamber International USA in 2010 and became the 8th proud Indian having a tag of International Training Fellow. He was also awarded Most Outstanding Trainer of Rajasthan in 2006 and 2009, respectively. For the last 2 decades, he has mentored and influenced lives more than 50,000 individuals across the globe through his seminars, training workshops, speeches, and counseling. He is popularly known as FIRE Brand Ace Trainer who speaks through action. And also, he's a frequent traveler. He has traveled more than 30 countries for social and training purposes. Apart from his busy schedule, he writes. Those who want to invent yourself, his book, namely Sunrise Within You, is a wonderful book to read. It emphasizes the importance of self-discovery and finding your unique abilities. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my pleasure to welcome on behalf of all the people, the man you've been waiting for, JC Senator Preetham K. Goswami. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Shamshad, for the introduction. Now I would like to officially hand over the floor to JCI Senator Preetham Goswami to carry out the session for today. Over to you, sir.
A very good afternoon to all the participants who are attending this wonderful workshop for next almost 75 minutes, 75 to 90 minutes. And I am pretty sure that those who have spared their valuable moments to attend this workshop will get enriched through whatever I'm going to share. And at the end of the program, if you have any questions, you have any suggestions, you have any doubts, you can surely ask me by putting your questions either in chat box or unmuting yourself and asking those questions to me. First of all, I thank Tariq Nazir for inviting me to conduct this webinar. Thank you so much, Tariq. I'm really thankful. I'm saying all this thank at the beginning because that's my gratitude. JCI Colombo, JCI Sri Lanka, and all the members of JCI Sri Lanka. As I understand that, as I was told by Tariq that there are few members who are not yet part of JCI attending this workshop. Therefore, I'll be taking up some basics of JCI in my webinar, and how you can take advantage of JCI so far as your business is concerned. And that's why it's extremely useful for those who are JCI members but not yet got any significant advantage so far as business is concerned. So how the value of JCI so far as entrepreneurship is concerned, we'll be talking about that. And besides the members from Sri Lanka, we have quite a few members from Nepal, JCI Nepal. I could see a few known faces, Yuvraj Adhikari, Kedar Bhandari, Dilip Prasad, they are all from Nepal. And Tushar, I could see in chat box as Vice President, Dhaka North is there, and few Indian friends from Madurai Central and Amit Hingorani. So I could see many of them. So it's basically an initiative by JCI Colombo, but I would say it's an international webinar because people from the entire continent are joining this program. Okay, my dear friends, so let's start. Let me share my screen and start. The value of JCI for entrepreneurs. This is the topic. And I would start with few interesting things first, because I was told by Tariq that I need to act as a motivator also. So besides business opportunities we have in JCI, I'll also talk on motivation. And I always start my seminars with one favorite slide of mine. Let's first improve to prove. What happens in our general life, either it's business or profession or family or society at large, we generally try to prove ourselves. Yes, I'm right. Yes, I know more than you. Yes, I can do this and that. But my question is, how much time on daily basis we spend improving ourselves? Once I was traveling to London, and in flight, I was reading a magazine and I saw an advertisement. And the advertisement was featuring Mr. Tiger Woods as a brand ambassador. In the whole advertisement, the photograph of Tiger was there. At the bottom of the advertisement, it was written, a question was asked from Tiger. What was the question? What it takes to be the tiger. This was a question thrown towards Tiger Woods. What was the question? What it takes to be a tiger. And at the bottom of the advertisement, there was a reply from Tiger Woods. What he says, that 80% of my time I spent improving myself, and 20% of my time I spent proving myself. Now that's the secret of his success. He narrated in only a couple of lines. And he meant that as one of the most successful player, not only in golf, if I combine all the international sports across the world, he was the only player who, for more than 10 years, he was on ranked 1. Despite the fact that there were few months, almost a year, when he was out of the scene because of certain injury, but still he was stood number 1. Now, what he says that I spend majority of my time improving my skill, and only a very little time I go out and show those my skills. My dear friends, if we talk about ourselves, most of us are settled in our respective professions or working for some company. But in 24 hours a day, how much time I'm spending on my own improvement? And if I focus on my own improvement on daily basis, it would be very easy for me to prove my credentials, and I'm not required to tell people who am I. And that leads me to another slide, which is again one of my favorite slides. And when I wrote my book 8 years back, when it got published, my book starts with this quote of Martin Luther King, sir. And what he says, that if a man hasn't discovered something that he'll die for, he's not fit to live. It's not the question that we are part of JCI or not. It's not the question that I'm doing well in my business. It's not the question that I have accumulated good amount of wealth. The question is, do I have a purpose in my life? What kind of purpose? A purpose for which I feel passionate. A purpose for which I can work day and night. A purpose which doesn't let me feel tired. A purpose for which I can cross all limits and boundaries in my life. That's what written here. That could you discover any purpose in your life? For that, you can even sacrifice your life. Sacrificing your life doesn't mean, sacrificing in real terms, but yes, it's symbolic that you could do anything in your life for that purpose. This purpose could be anything in your life, serving to the society, building a big business, creating a network of people, becoming a leader of masses, writing some books. It could be anything. Excelling in your own areas, but we must have a purpose. And what Martin Luther King says, that if you haven't discovered such purpose, if I have not discovered such purpose for which I feel passionate day and night, maybe I'm not fit to live. So this is a wonderful sentence said by him. And my dear friends, we joined JCI.
Tom, can you hear us? We cannot see the slide. Could you please check it?
You cannot see?
No. We just see a black screen.
Just a moment. I share it again. Just a moment. Can you see it now?
No. Yeah, it is visible now.
Okay.
So can you start from the beginning again?
Yes, of course.
Slide.
I'm so sorry for that. So here, this was the first, this was the first slide, the value of JCI for entrepreneurs. And here I was talking about that let us first improve to prove ourselves. And that's why I gave the example of Tiger Woods, that how he answered the question, what takes it to be Tiger? And this was one of my favorite slides by Martin Luther King, that if man has not discovered, he can die for, he is not fit to live. So here we go. We joined JCI. Of course, I'll be focusing more on JCI, but we joined JCI to transform ourselves, to transform our personality, to transform our societies, to transform our communities. And if somebody rightly said that if you are born as gentlemen, it may be a coincidence, but if you die as gentlemen, it will be your achievement. And remember, we do not get any second chance to make our first impression. And that impression could be created the way you speak, the way you present ourselves, the way you lead your chapter, the way you build your business, the way you create network of people, the kind of relationship you make with your friends and with society at large. And when we talk to people, now I find 3-4 type of people in relation with JCI. Number one, those who have joined JCI, but they were not very active. they did not even understand what is JCI all about, and they do not find any difference neither in the organization nor in their lives. So if you ask them what exactly you gain by joining JCI, they would be speechless. Rather, they can talk something negative because they didn't try to take advantage of it. The second kind of people who were being chased by JCI members to become JCI member, but they've been postponing it for past few years, and they keep asking what's there in JCI for me. And the third category, I would tell that the people like Tariq, people like other people who went on to the highest position in JCI, became the president, created their network not only in country but outside countries also, and they could transform their own lives, and through their vision they could also help transforming somebody's life. So the question is very valid. Before buying any product, before buying any service, the customer must ask, what is in it for me? And yes, before I tell you what is there for you, I must tell you what is the vision of JCI. The vision of JCI says that we want to be the leading global network of young, active citizens. Why I am talking about young, active citizens? Because as you know, the JCI is the only organization across the world which helps people changing themselves first and then changing the society. And you also know that it is the organization for 18 to 40 years of age, when you can hold an active post in any of the chapter or norm or international at large. So we must understand that it is a global network. It is not confined to your own city. It is not confined to your own country. Rather, it is a complete global network. And I'll be giving you many such examples how people took advantage of this global network in past few years. And what is the mission of JCI? To provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. If you look at the vision, if you look at the mission, at both the places, we are emphasizing on young people. Okay. Number two, here also I'm talking about, we want to empower young people. Why we want to empower them? So that once they get empowered, they can create positive change by contributing whatever they have. And hence, we must extend them, we must provide them development opportunities. In general, after finishing our education, when we join our family business, when we start our own business, or when we join a company as an employee, we somehow miss certain learnings. Generally what happens, and I keep telling my seminars, right from 3 or 4 years of age, when I start going to school till the age of 23, 24 or 25, I finish my education or higher education, I spend most of my money, most of my time learning theoretical things, learning what is written in books, writing those exam papers, and feeling happy by getting those grades. But I was never taught life skill. I was never taught that how to deal with people. I was never taught how to handle difficult situations. I was never taught how to build network, or how to build your business, or how to expand your business, how to create that work-life balance in your life. We were never told, and we did not spend any money. An organization like JCI fill this gap. So it gives you opportunity to lead people. It gives you opportunity to use your mind creatively. It gives you opportunity to motivate others and manage your time effectively. People who give excuse that I do not have time, they are the murderers of time to the most. And those who know how to manage their time, they can do hundreds of activities other than business and profession and family. So these are the things we miss in our life in general. If we follow our general routine, we wake up in the morning, we may or may not do some physical workout, take our breakfast, leave for the office, come back late in the evening, eat our food, watch some TV, talk, play with phone, doing some social media networking, and going to sleep. And this all keep happening for last so many years. And these all are the things which we have been missing. Okay. And why I say this so confidently, because I am JCI member for last 23 years. 1997, after becoming chartered accountant, starting my own profession, for like 2-3 years, I was feeling a big vacuum in my life. I was not knowing what is JCI all about. And my friend asked me to join JCI. And trust me, my dear friends, when my friend asked me to join JCI, he didn't tell me what is JCI all about. I didn't even know that it is an international organization. I thought it's some kind of club for fellowship. But I had a very keen interest in various activities which were going there, and I took maximum amount of advantage. In my city, when I joined JCI, there were only 2 chapters, and both the chapters were having members each. And after becoming JCI members and going across the country, seeing JCI movement all across the globe, and seeing people getting advantage, then I decided to take it further. Now in my city, there are 12 chapters. And when I created, in 2005, I created chapter in which I was president JCI Kota Dynamic. It became largest loan by having 201 members in 2006, 7, 8. Okay. And it won 3 international awards, Asia Pacific Award and JCI World Congress Awards. And I helped so many people connecting their business ties, not only in India, but outside India also. So I know whatever I am today and speaking in front of you, whatever small recognition I got in my own city, 100% credit goes to this organization. But for that, you have to be the 3rd category of member. The 1st category of the member, I told you, who join the organization, do not get involved. They come for the meetings and parties, eat food and go back. Okay. They don't know what is the organization all about, what kind of advantage I can take from this. The 2nd category, I told you, that those who do not join this organization, they say that I hardly have anything in organization. But the 3rd category, who completely get involved in the organization, its philosophy, and he says, yes, there are plenty of things which I can take advantage of. So what exactly we need in our life? We need good health. We need success. Success means whatever you decide, you achieve those goals. You need happiness. Happiness is all about managing your emotions. And most important, to feel secure, to feel happy, to feel independent, and to be able to contribute to the society, you need to earn a lot of money. And when you earn a lot of money, of course, you get more recognition. You can contribute to the society through your finances, and you can help people earning bread and butter. So if I run an industry where 300 people are employed, I'm not only giving job to those 300 people. JCI's entrepreneur's value is not just you come in JCI and build your business, but its value is expanded, that through your vision and mission of expanding your business, you are benefiting to hundreds and thousands of people through your entrepreneur spirit. So you are employing 300 people, and 300 families are being maintained indirectly through your business. So many vendors and customers and ancillary industries are taking advantage of your business. So that's why we consider it to be one of the most important, because this is the only area of JCI which empowers you. And once you get empowered, of course you can contribute to people. Each one of us, those who are already JC member, JCI has 5 opportunities. But I am today focusing on the opportunity number 4, which you can see here, this business opportunity, and how this business opportunity can be engaged. And those who are leaders here, specifically the loan president, secretaries, governing board members, must give opportunities to their members that how they can expand their business. JCI do not force you that you should conduct only these kind of business programs. They believe in one thing, that yes, it is one of the areas of opportunity, therefore you must work for the business development. And here we are not only talking about business development of only our members, but also business development of our communities. How it can be done, I'll get back to you a little later. But yes, by being in JCI, these are the 10 things which you get. And these 10 things help you enhancing your business activities, expanding your business faster, managing your business in the right way. When you join JCI through various training programs, by meeting so many people, you learn so many skills, and leadership is also one of them. Gaining more knowledge by doing networking with people from different businesses, enhancing your competence. My God, I need to start it again. Just a moment. I think my PowerPoint has... Can you still see my slides?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we can see.
We can see, sir.
I cannot see. Just a moment. Okay, I'm so sorry. My some problem occurred in my laptop. So I connected through my mobile. So I'll be speaking. Meanwhile, my slides are starting again. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And I'm sorry for the inconvenience. So I was talking, by being member of this wonderful organization, you get various opportunities of managing people, because when you do your own business, where do we struggle in making more profits? Where do we struggle in expanding our business? Because we do not handle our people properly. We do not manage our finance properly. We do not have that networking capabilities, and that's why we struggle. And this organization helps you learning all those things. Now let me come on how you can grow your business. And after telling you these opportunities, I'll be having very interesting tips for all the JCI members who are member for last so many years, but they could not take much of the business advantages. So I have few tips how to create your business networks, how to take advantage, how to impress people so that you can get good amount of business. So in this business area which we do, what I mean to say is many chapter organized, like when I was president, what I used to do. Let me give you a couple of examples. When I was president, as I told you, I have 200 members in my chapter. What I used to do, we had a complete database of all the members, that which member is doing what kind of business. Number one. Database contains second thing, if other member of the chapter wants to do business with them, what kind of advantage can be given to them. This was the number two. Number three, in every monthly meeting which we had, we were giving a few members opportunity to speak and tell about their business. So these were the three regular activities which we have been doing. Otherwise, what was happening in the past few years, where I was part of earlier chapter, there were around 60-70 members, and I was not knowing each one of them. I was not knowing that what kind of business actually they are doing. I was not knowing that how I can expand my business. So by doing this simple exercise, all 200 members could showcase their business, number one. And then that only year, we decided, let us organize trade fairs. So we decided to organize trade fairs. Now, in the very first year, we reached out to all the 200 members and told them that, yes, we are going for a trade fair, and you can showcase, by paying this much of amount, you can showcase your business. And in this trade fair, which was there for almost 3 days, almost 1 lakh people visited the trade fair. Now see, and at a minor cost. Now see, if I'm running a shop where I'm selling sanitary ware, or I'm a cloth merchant, I'm selling clothes or ready-made garments, in that case, I'm not able to reach out to 1 lakh new people. I'm not able to reach out to 1 lakh people. Am I audible?
Yes.
Let me share my screen. So it is visible to everyone now. Can you now see the screen?
Yes, sir, we can see.
So what opportunities do have? Say, I take an example of any chapter where I keep guiding them. Let me tell you, in 2009, I was National Director of JCI India in 2009, and I was handling business portfolio. That's why I was talking about various opportunities. And when I was National Director Business, I tried to connect members from different parts of country to do business with each other. So how we can do? We do business management programs. Like, let me tell you, most of the members who are attending program here are either from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Nepal, and quite a few from India. As said by Tariq and other members from Colombo, that every year we organize a program in JCI India called Nalanda, National Academy for Leadership and Administration. This is basically a leadership program where we encourage people from SAARC countries to come and take the advantage. Similarly, we also conduct a program called ABLE. It is Academy of Business Leadership and Excellence. And you can request your own members, your own national president, to talk to JCI India national president And you guys can also participate in ABLE. And trust me, dear friends, if you once you attend the program called ABLE, it's a 4 days residential program conducted at 2 centers in India. One is North India, which is generally mix of Hindi and English, and one is southern part of India, which is only in English. Your whole life will change so far your business is concerned. And we have 100 plus such case studies. After joining this ABLE program, people expanded their business to such a level which never dreamt of. So JCI conducts so many business management programs. It gives you advantage. You can visit various companies which belongs to JCI members, or you get connected through those companies through JCI members. You can develop your business networking. I'll be coming very specifically on this, how to develop your business networking by giving you one very specific and precise tips. And once you work in a chapter as a JCI member, through various programs, through the kind of training we have, you can, the sense of business acumen, entrepreneurial development you can go through, exploring business opportunities and gaining status and recognition. That's also very important. Let me give you my own example. When I joined JCI in 1997, I started my profession as a consultant chartered accountant in my own city. And very few people knew me, because I left this city way back in 88, because my father was a banker and he was posted somewhere else. So I keep moving to one city to another. So I left this city in 1987 and returned back 10 years later. And very few people knew me. So unless I have a business contacts and networking, I cannot, expand my business. So after I joined JCI, and then I liked the organization, I started participating in various programs. I started organizing projects. I started taking some initiative, and within 3-4 years, I gained a good status. My photograph was published in newspaper because of certain achievements. So here I got the recognition, not only recognition in the chapter members, but also recognition in the society. If you are recognized, people try to meet you, people try to come to you for different type of helps. Joining JCI, because it's a network of young entrepreneurs, is a network of more than 2 lakh people, which is having its spread in almost 100 plus countries. And when you meet people from different creed, class, culture, and business, you upgrade your knowledge. Not only knowledge, you upgrade your personality, you upgrade your thinking process, you upgrade the way people do their business. And what you need to do, why we don't join these organizations, or even if I've joined the organization, why I do not get involved? There is a very small amount of risk. What is that risk? You have to sacrifice some personal or professional time to get involved in JCI. Number one. Number two, you have to sacrifice some amount as an annual fee or some amount of sponsorship that people might ask you to contribute or to fund their project. But of course, without risk, you can't conquer the world. As I'm telling continuously that international networking, I'll give you a couple of examples. Through JCI, I attended first JCI event in 2008 in South Korea in Busan. It was Asia Pacific Conference. And fortunately, I was given an opportunity to conduct a training program called the Hero of Life. So it was my debut program internationally in JCI events. And when I reached to program venue, it was a hall in a convention center, at a convention center. And when I entered the hall, it was full packed hall with 100 plus participants sitting inside. I was new to them and they were new to me. And there were participants from 25 countries almost. People from Japan, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangladesh, Philippines, Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Taiwan, people from different parts of Asia Pacific region. And I had my 90 minutes program and it went wonderful. Why I'm saying that it went wonderful, because the way people responded after the program, they came to me, they asked for my card, what do I do? Can I be invited for something, some lecture or some program or some business event to their countries? And that, networking continued. When next year, I again went to Japan ASPEC and other world congresses in Tunisia. Everywhere I used to find people and connect with them. And then few years back when I was in UK for some business purpose with one of my clients, and then I recalled two persons. In Philippines Asia Pacific Conference in 2011, I was conducting a program. I conducted 2 programs in Philippines Asia Pacific Conference. And there was a lady from JCI London who was president at that time, and we were Facebook friends, and we were in constant touch. And there was one Indian guy who was from India, but he was a citizen of United Kingdom. But we guys met in World Congress of JCI in Osaka, Japan in 2010. So when I was in UK, I thought of connecting these people. Okay, so I met them. I talked about various business associations that could take place, not of mine, but yes, I can connect few of my people whom I know to people, those who are there in UK. And of course, I could do that. Couple of my clients are doing business in UK. They're exporting something from India to United Kingdom. And through that lone president of JCI London, I connected my clients to few references of that lady. And in next 3 years, this client of mine got two more customers in United Kingdom, and now they are doing big business. And this guy, who's my client, was the person who brought me to JCI fold. And the other person, who was an Indian but UK citizen, who met me in Osaka, Japan, he was also a chartered accountant. He's also a chartered accountant. I met him personally. We met in a restaurant and talked about various possibilities. And in next couple of years, we had few tie-ups because I wanted to register few companies in United Kingdom for my client, and that guy really helped me. And now he wants to do something in India about his venture. So recently we had a meeting couple of months back when he was in India. So I connected him to various people. Now, this is how you connect. And in India, I know many JCI members, they through international networking, they have started doing their business outside India. Since the program is for Sri Lankan members, let me tell you one more story. It was 2010 June. I was in Singapore in Asia Pacific Conference, and there were 3-4 people from JCI Sri Lanka. They were participating in that training event. Earlier, JCI, Junior Chamber International, used to conduct a program called JCI Presenter, JCI Trainer, in Asia Pacific and World Congresses. So I was one of the trainers, one of the coaches therein. And there were 3 guys from Sri Lanka, they were participating. And there was one lady. And then she was in trouble because of some problem. Her hotel booking got cancelled. And because of the peak season in Singapore and because of many international conferences going on, she couldn't find a single room. And she could get booking from next day. And since I was traveling with my family, and there were a couple of more families were traveling with me, and then she talked to me, sir, I'm in trouble and I want your help. Because I told them that I'm traveling with my family, my kids, and my mom and dad were also there with me in Singapore. And then finally, she stayed with my family one particular night, and I could help her. And then we got connected. We were in touch for next couple of years, but unfortunately, that connection could not be for long term because of they might have left JCI. And then last year, I was faculty to one of the most premium program of Southeast Asia or South Asia, that is Nalanda, which takes place in India every year, and members from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives keep coming to participate. And I met Tariq Rodriguez and one more member, I'm skipping his name, and in that program. And then once that program got over, I connected with them through Facebook. Either they sent requests to me or I sent requests to me, and we kept talking. We had no purpose, but who knows, tomorrow we have the purpose. But the problem is we generally forget people. We do not do that networking. So if you take the advantage of the entire family, like if I talk about India, we have 50,000 JCI member in India, almost 1,200 chapters in India. So even if you talk about Bangladesh, Nepal, and Sri Lanka, we have the similar culture, similar kind of business. So even we connect with each other, there are a lot of business opportunities. Let me give you one more example. Like Nalanda, Nepal, JCI Nepal also organizes a program which is called as JCI Nepal Academy. Last year in October, the program took place near Kathmandu. I was one of the trainers. 2 trainers were from India, 1 trainer from Nepal itself. And there was 80 participants. And I got connected to few of the participants, and few of them are still here attending this program. And Yuvraj Adhikari, who is also a chartered accountant, is attending this program. And one more person who runs a big company was in my touch. And what happened, last month, he connected. Sir, my wife starting a new business and wants to open a big sari showroom here in Nepal. So please connect me to people in India from whom I can buy saris at a right price, and those who are credible, those credibility is there, who's vendor. So in India, Surat, Gujarat is known for sari market. Kolkata is known for it, and Banaras is known for it. And everywhere I was connected with JCI member. What I did is I connected those JCI members with another JCI member of Nepal, and I helped each other. I didn't get anything out of it except a satisfaction that I helped my 2 brothers connecting with their businesses. Now, this is how we can help. But you can help each other. You can help yourself only when you have complete focus over it. If you know the power of this community, you can create a big business. So JCI is there to produce better leaders and better society. And better leaders not only in terms of social or political, but also business. If you read the bottom line, what is written here, business is written first. Business, social, and political leader. If you're financially capable, then of course you can contribute more to the society and politics at large. So what you need to do is, you need to get yourself engaged. Once you engage, you get yourself evolve. That evolution makes you a different person, and you can make your dreams come true. Now coming to, as I told you, that I'm going to tell you so many networking tips that how you can network. And if you can take notes of it, because if you follow these networking rules in JCI and in other organization also, trust me, in next couple of years, you'll be a changed person. So as far as your business is concerned, as far as the kind of business you get from your communities. So whenever you join JCI, it's for existing members, it's for new members, it's for prospective members. First of all, I'm a part of JCI community, but just by being member, I do not get any business. For this, what I need to do? I need to be more visible. For visibility, I need not to carry a good face. For visibility, I need to do 3 things: lead, participate, exhibit. When you are in organization, you take a leadership position, you become president or secretary or vice president or treasurer, you are in limelight. The spotlight is on you. You get recognition. So people trust more on you. Number 1. Number 2, if you are not leading, participate actively in various activities and programs. So when you are very regular to meetings, regular to programs, you are contributing by becoming project director or something, there are chances that people will be noticing your presence. And third point is exhibit. What do we mean by exhibiting here? People notice silently. You may not be meeting all of them. Say you go to a meeting where you see 70 people, but during those 2 hours, you are able to interact with only 5-10 people. But remember, other 60 people are also observing and noticing you. So what is the meaning of exhibiting? The meaning of exhibiting means people are noticing your conduct, the kind of body language, your punctuality, your discipline, your, the kind of you fulfill your responsibilities. So you create visibilities by these three things. Generally, we do not join organizations, JCI, and we always say or give an excuse that I don't have time. But we spend a lot of money advertising our business. We spend a lot of money promoting on social media. And that money was earned by you spending time. And here, networking is nothing but a marketing of yourself, marketing of your business. Not only your business, but it also helps you in the trouble time. Okay, if my son is studying in Canada and he's there for last 2.5 years, and I connected him to various JCI friends. So that network is also not only helping me in my business, but also helping me in other dimensions of my life. So make network as a priority. The way you schedule your meeting, networking has to be part of your schedule. And trust me, my dear friends, spend 30 minutes every day nurturing or making your networks by making some phone calls or writing mails or dropping some messages. Your life will change like anything. If you do not invest necessary time, whatever relationships we have made in past or networks we created, slowly and gradually, they get out of order, they get obsolete. Many of us who are already part of this organization, they have a fear of rejection at times. When they are in meetings, they do not come out of their shell. Why they do not come out of shell? They are not confident about their business, their appearance, the way they speak, their communication, their personalities. And because of that fear of rejection, they do not take an initiative, and they lose the opportunity of networking. Let me give one more my example. When I joined JCI 23 years back, I was a person who was very introvert. And I do not claim that I am extrovert today, but I am not that introvert I used to be. And I generally do not take an initiative and going forward to meet somebody and introducing myself. But slowly and gradually, when I removed that inhibition, I started getting my business. Today, as a chartered accountant, whatever clientele I have, at least 50% of the clients are just because of JCI. That's the power of JCI, my dear friends. So far as your business is concerned, how to develop contacts. You are in meeting, like you will get an opportunity to go to other countries for networking, attending some other events. How to develop those contacts. When you meet people, you must listen to them. I have seen few people who speak more, listen less. So once you approach a person, doing some introduction, you must focus on listening. You should extend maximum politeness. You may be a big business tycoon. Please do not show your arrogance in your introduction that you are so and so. You are a president of so and so, or you have so many companies. Number 3, which is extremely important, to create that mutual interest, to find common interest. Once in 2004, we were organizing on JCI banner. We were organizing a big business, a big social event in my town. It was a yoga camp of Swami Ramdev, where almost 10 to 20,000 people were to participate. Okay, and what happened? I knew we have one income tax commissioner in our town who was not very public, who did not believe talking to people, establishing contacts with them. Somehow I got to know that he has interest in these kind of activities where he would like to participate. So I took took this as an opportunity. I went to his office and told him, sir, we are organizing such social program and I want you to be chief guest on this and this date. I knew his interest and I could found some common interest. You know, this income tax commissioner was never comfortable meeting outsiders, though I was a chartered accountant, but he was not interested establishing public contacts. And he was so excited getting that invitation to be the chief guest in that event. Over the next years, I became his family friends. Now he's not in my city, he is serving in other cities, but still today we are in contact and we could help each other. It was a big advantage to my business. If I know an income tax commissioner, I'm not talking of any other advantage, but of course, yes, I know a big income tax commissioner could be a big help to me. Suppose he's posted in Delhi and I need some help in Delhi, I'll call him and he'll arrange that help to me. So that was a big advantage to me. So when you are talking to developing a network, developing a contact, so you need to identify a common interest. And these common interests could be anything, boss. It could be some philosophical thing. It could be a book. It could be a movie. It could be a music. But you must find a common interest to develop that contact. Next, when we meet people, we go to various, programs, meetings, workshops, conferences, and we exchange cards. What happens to those cards? Once we get back to our home, the bunch of cards is kept in the drawer or kept somewhere. We do not try to organize it properly. And these days, most of the contacts which we receive over phone and we store it like this. But you must develop a data bank, because in my phone, I have 2000 contacts. But I do not know, or even if I know, I do not remember every time that what is the profile of these 2000 contacts. So I have created a data bank in my computer. Whenever I get a business card, whenever I get to know a new person, I enter all details in that data bank. It has their name, the email ID, their phone number, the type of business they do, and the city they belong to. Now, if India is a big country, and then when my friend from Nepal called me, sir, I need to connect a sari vendor in Kolkata, I immediately opened my data bank, identified who all JCI members from Kolkata whom I know personally, and there were 4-5 members, and then I identify out of 5 who's most relevant, and then I called one person, and that person was of a great help to me. So organize all your contacts in a proper way, because your network is your net worth. Your contacts are it carries a lot of value. And these days, startups, technology-based startups are not valued on the basis of how much profit they are earning. Startups start earning profit after 10 years, but startups are valued the amount of data they have, the amount of reach they have. So my dear friends, your contacts are your big asset. So you centrally location, we keep at the centrally location, categorize them business wise or country wise or city wise, and put specific notes. You might forget in past that I met this person in this program and we talked about this. So maybe 5 years down the line, if I retrieve that contact, I can recall the memory. So data management has to be extremely important. Just by keeping in your head or keeping in mobile, it will not help you. So you will be restricting it. What happens? Suppose you participated in a big conference where you meet 50, 60, 70 people. What happens after some time? These 60, 70, and 80 people will forget you, you'll forget them. So what is important? Once you return back to your house or your home, you must contact them within 24 hours of your first meeting. It may be formal meeting, it may be informal meeting. Okay. How to contact them? If you think that calling is not the most preferred thing, is calling them, people will like it. So you may call them, sir, we met there and it was nice talking to you. You was such a wonderful person. Let's keep connected. So please do let me know. What you'll say, please do let me know if I could be any help of you. And if you think calling would not be a good idea, just drop a personal message that yes, it was nice meeting you, but you must contact them for first. Once you connect them, all your new contacts within 24 hours, there are chances that there would be long-term relationship with this person. And then after first contact in 24 hours, you keep contacting them on monthly basis. There are various reasons. There could be some festival. You can share some story. You can share some quote. And this in pandemic situation, I received messages from so many friends across the world. How are you doing, Mr. Goswami? Is everything well? So on monthly basis, you can follow them up. There could be some contacts who will not respond even after 2-3 attempts from your side. So if it is so, I would recommend that if somebody is not even responding thank you, hello, hi to your messages, it means it is not good to follow up with them. You can drop it for now and wait for the further proceedings. So do not chase them. Okay. And now you have 3 types of people in your community. Number one, whom you met only once, but you are in regular touch. Whom you met quite a few times, but not doing any business. Number 3, with whom you are doing regular business. But with all of them, okay, you need to communicate regularly. You need to give them individual attention. If you are meeting them again in the program and you are standing with 4 guys, you should give individual attention. Hello, Mr. Thomas, how are you? I'm seeing you after so many times. Everything is fine. How's your business doing? How's your son's study? You need to show that personal attention. Okay. And then somehow it is good to be networking, but you try to, you can have a big network, but slowly and gradually when you meet 50-70 people in a conference, somehow you need to restrict yourself that out of these 50 people, these 20 could be of advantage to me. So somehow you can categorize your network into 3 categories, A, B, C. A means it could be very important to me, this person. B may or may not be. C, there are limited chances that there are no chances rather that this person could be of any, use or maybe any importance to me in future. Because of paucity of time, because of so many constraints, it's not possible for you to maintain the network of 10,000 or 20,000 people. So somehow you need to limit it. Now, the most important thing is whenever people want to do business with you, the most important thing which comes is your credibility. Because of credibility, people have, people are confused whether to do business or not. And I've seen there are smart people doing good business, but because their conduct is not credible, they are not able to win trust of people. Okay. So people are not comfortable doing business with them. So to achieve that trust and credibility, there are 3 things which we need to do. Be honest, whatever, because dishonesty doesn't last longer. If you try to play with somebody, you can gain couple of advantages, but very, very quickly, your reality is going to be exposed. Okay. So you need to be honest. If you continue to be honest and practicing this value of honesty, trust me, your existing customers are going to promote you a lot. As I told you that whatever clients I have as on today, out of that, 80% of the clients were introduced by my first 20% clients. So my first 20% clients brought me 80% of next clients because they liked my service. So need to be honest with them, act with consistency. Every single time, the way you talk to them, the way you behave with them, the way you execute their task, you need to be consistent with them and you need to be helpful, whether you're getting business from them or not, whether you are giving them but you are not getting anything in return, whether you see no possibility of future business, but still wherever you see the need, you must help them. I give you one more example. In the morning, though it's a lockout position, but one of my client is running a group of schools here in town, and he has almost 7,000 students, couple of colleges and couple of schools. And it was because of this lockdown situation, he's working on a online education module. So he came to discuss with me that he's trying to collaborate with few parties. And suddenly when I was talking to him, I could connect, I could recall that one of my JCI member is into similar business. Similar business means he provides the technology, he helps marketing, online education. And immediately I connected both of them. So it is there in my mind. So I may not get any advantage out of it, but this keeps going on. This is the mindset. Once you start doing it, trust me, more you give, more you get. And how we can get advantage in a meeting and seminars when we are meeting people. Once lockdown is over, we will start going for social meetings, meeting people. So of course, how you get that recognition, how you get more spotlight on you, of course, the way you carry yourself is extremely important, because when people do not know you, they first get impressed the way you are carrying yourself, your external personality. They may get impressed later with your internal personality or attitude, the way you talk to them, the kind of thinking process you carry, but initially you need to carry this. When you meet people, your tone and body language attracts people towards you. So if your tone is very cool and calm, if you're talking to people with empathy, if you're talking to people with lots of concern and love, and your body language is very positive, very energetic, you just, when you are standing in a public gathering, you generally like to talk to people who have smiling face, who have good body language, who talks, who engages you in interesting talks. Okay. And don't be quiet. Get engaged in the community part. As I told you at the beginning, keep yourself engaged in some or other work. So these are the things which give you extra advantage. And when you build relationship, earlier 3-4 years when I was doing network, I was not goal oriented. I was not specific. But fortunately, there were few mentors of mine who kept guiding me to be specific. Now I am very specific. Build relationship with specific contacts and be genuine. When you have the data bank of all your contacts, you will need to think that I need to build relationship with these kind of people. As I told you that you met 70 people, you must identify that out of these 70, these 20 could be very useful to me, useful to my business, useful to my network. So you identify, you need to be very goal oriented so far as your networking is concerned. You have to be very specific and always build relationship with whom you share common interest, with your philosophy gets aligned, with whom your thought process get aligned. If you build relationship with such people, your relationship will be lasting long. Again, I'll give my own example that at least 60, 70 or rather 75% of my clients share a very strong bond with me. Though it's all business relationship, but my dear friend, they share everything related to their family. Whatever personal problem they have, they talk to me. And many a time, I went on vacations with many of my clients. Why? Because we share common interest. When there is a common interest and common passion, there would be a long-lasting relationship. And try to build friendship with some people with whom you love interacting, with whom you love spending time. So there are two things. If in network I could identify 5-7 people, you may not get business at the very first go. What happens you can do is you can develop friendship with them, and slowly and gradually after good friendship they can bring their business to you. Similarly, if there are already some customers or clients who are doing business with you, we can also develop friendship with you. So these are the few specific areas, and people trust you based on how you keep your promises. So never overcome it. I used to commit this mistake because I personally feel that I cannot say no to people. I used to accept all expectations or demands from my clients, but I used to take a lot of toll, and that used to bother me a lot. And sometimes I fail to deliver properly. So please do not overcome it. Manage your time carefully and make reasonable promises. Specifically, when people come to you, a new customer come to you through JCI reference, you're trying to be too good and too promising and too giving good deliveries to maintain that consistency. It's not like that you get married recently, so you're very good to wife, and after 5-7 years you are becoming a normal human being with them. So maintain that warmth with your clients. Whatever warmth you maintain with new clients, the same would be maintained with the old clients as well. And manage your time carefully and make reasonable promises. As I told you, what you can invest, we have two things to be invested, the money and time. And for me, time is a bigger resources, because by investing time, you could earn money. If you have more time, you can invest more time to earn more money. You can invest more time to build more business. So you have to schedule time to reach out to individuals you want to build business relationships. Meet with your contacts in person. So I told you 30 minutes every day. That was for email. That was for, messaging. That was for organizing your contacts. That was for scheduling your day. But on weekly intervals, you can identify that I have to meet my contacts. I give you one example. I generally schedule my month in such a way that every Saturday I meet my existing client. Every Saturday I do not sit in my office, and I identify that this Saturday I meet 3 of my clients or 4 of my clients without any agenda, and they like it. That look, my chartered accountant is so good that he keeps coming to our offices on regular basis. My earlier chartered accountant did not come to my office and for last 5 years. One thing. On last Saturday, first 3 or 4 Saturday, I do it like this. Like 4th Saturday or 5th Saturday, what I do is I do not meet my clients. I meet my friends who are not my clients, or I meet people whom I met in some conferences or somewhere. Those who are with whom I am in formal relationship, but they are not my client. So I call them, says, what are you doing? I want to come just for a courtesy meeting or a cup of coffee. I do it. So make it a habit of, so this, builds a lot of relationships. That builds, create a bond in your relationship. So you need to make this effort. And when you go there, go without an agenda, just for socializing. Automatically, when you start talking, things turn up in your favor. But you need to invest your time. Without investment of time, you cannot create everlasting network or big network. These days, online networks also play a big role. For example, me and Tariq met last year, August, in Bangalore during Nalanda. And we hardly had the time to talk to each other. Hardly we spoke to each other for 3-4 minutes in person. But we were connected online. So use all online tools, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, to use them very purposefully. Don't mix them with your personal things. Update regularly to maintain interest in your connections. So if I am a chartered accountant, and if I have my business profile where all my clients or prospectives are connected, I keep posting various text amendments, various business related information. I keep sending on WhatsApp what is their interesting, how they can recover losses because of this lockdown, how they can change the way they have been doing business. So through that online modules, I'm connected with them. And every day, spend 15-20 minutes on online connections with your All Connect. Even on Facebook, in every morning I spend 5 minutes seeing whose birthday it is. And if I have personal number of that friend, I like to talk to that person or drop a personal message. If I do not have personal number, then I post my wishes on Facebook itself. So it brings the warmth in relationship. It keeps your relationship on. And then there are a few powerful habits. In next 5-7 minutes, I'll be closing, and then I want to give more time to question answers, because you may have so many doubts. Or you may have asked for any suggestions from me. So what powerful habits you can inculcate and practice to gain advantage in business? I have shared everything which I learned from JCI. Whatever I'm sharing, I took personal advantage after practicing all these things. So this is my, earnings from this wonderful organization. I'm sharing those earnings. And let me tell you one more thing. JCI India for last 1 year has started working on business network. Last year in Gujarat, JCI started network within JCI, and it is JEN, JCI Entrepreneurs Network. Okay. So other than JCI meetings, JEN continuously meet on fortnightly basis, and they are exchanging businesses quite frequently. There's a complete module. If required, I can share the complete modus operandi that how you can build that entrepreneur network within your chapters, within your cities, and can do a big business in a structured or constructive way. Recently, in last February, there was first business conclave of JEN, JCI Entrepreneurs Network. In that conclave, we invited national president of JCI Ghana with a delegation. And there we explored various opportunities, how Ghana and India JCI member can do business. Okay. And then an Indian delegation of JCI entrepreneurs was to visit Ghana in April, but unfortunately because of this pandemic that got postponed to September, I suppose August and September. But this is how we can take initiatives in respective loans and countries. So whenever you join an organization, whether it's a JCI or JCI Colombo, or JCI Dhaka North or JCI Kathmandu, you have to have a goal. I am joining this organization because of one reason, that I want to enhance my network. And why I want to enhance my network, that within 2 years, I want to increase my business, or I want to increase my turnover by 20%. When you come with this goal, you work constructively. Whenever in a meeting, whenever in a seminar, whenever in a conference, whenever in a social program, whether formal or informal, please meet new people. And to meet new people, do not wait others to come to you. You take the first step, reaching out to them. And when you are talking to people, do not be negative. Do not criticize people. Do not criticize systems and processes. Do not criticize any political system. Do not criticize what is happening in the world. Be positive. Encourage people. Appreciate people. In last 1.5 months, when people are talking to me, what will happen to economy post Corona? And I always say, in my personal opinion, this is going to, business format will change. The way we think will change. But this will bring a lot of big business opportunities to countries like India, Nepal, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. For developing countries, it is going to create a lot of opportunities. So when you talk positive, people would love to connect with you. People, because you have carried those positive vibes. And don't stay with your comfort person. Generally, what happens, those especially who are introvert, those who do not, those who are not comfortable meeting new people, they generally stay with very limited people whom they know. They stay in their comfort zone. So I request you, do not stay with your comfort person. Just say hello and hi, shake hand, meet them for 2, 3, 4 minutes and hunt for new members. I personally believe that giving is the best gesture. Whenever you come in an organization, first think of giving. And when you think of giving, you win trust, you win empathy, you win a place in somebody's heart. Because without any personal interest, you are giving something to somebody. In a regular working day, I receive at least 5 such telephone calls on a daily basis where people ask for my help or some connection. Every day, minimum 5 phone calls I get every day when I'm approached for some kind of help. So I feel myself blessed that yes, I'm capable of helping people. It could be a business help, it could be a social help, it could be a personal help. And when I help somebody without any self-interest, I get a place in somebody's heart. So wherever the person will give, he will consider my name. So whenever you create network, whenever you meet people, first think, how could be you useful to people? How you can help people? Once you think of giving first and receiving later, you'll be a big gainer in your networks. And that's why giving first means connecting others, connecting person 2 and 3. As I told you just few whiles ago, that when my client came to me this morning, I immediately connected with one JCI member for online marketing of their education programs. So when you connect person 2, person 3 with no interest and no commission, no personal benefit of yours, this is the best thing which you can do, because you are impressing 2 people, you're obliging 2 people, you're creating your place in 2 people's heart. Always be curious when you meet people, when you talk to them, you always be curious to know more information about their business, more knowledge from them, what they study, what they read. This is a very good way to upgrade yourself, upgrade your knowledge, upgrade your thinking process. And when you connect with people, you should listen them first. You should listen them intently, but doesn't mean that you should be quiet all the time. It does not mean that you should monopolize the conversation. It should be a balanced conversation that creates a better network and better relationships. Make your social media you. Here I would say, specifically, Facebook generally I have seen, it is more of a personal. So, okay, you can create your Facebook account, which is your own personal account, but at the same time, you also create a Facebook page, which belongs to your business. Similarly, your LinkedIn account or your Twitter account, or specifically LinkedIn account, must reflect your business activities. So if you are talking something else outside, but your social media is speaking something else about you, people will not trust you. So your social media should reflect the real person in you, your business, the businessman in you, your philosophy, your thinking process. Otherwise, if I'm something inside and something outside, there is a possibility that I may get exposed. You must know how to make powerful introductions. Powerful introduction, whenever you meet a new person, giving business card is not an introduction. People ask you what business you do. Business card is given just for memory after you depart your ways, but you must give a powerful introduction in least of the time. I would say 15-20 seconds is the ideal time whenever you meet somebody to tell about you and your business. If other person wants to know more, let him ask the questions. On your own, you should not speak for more than 15-20 seconds about yourself and your business. How you can make it more powerful so that the person is curious to ask more questions, or the person carries a very good impression and memorizes your business name and your name. And by talking to people, other person must be interested in you. How they would be interested in you if you, through your talks, through your conversation, you're able to show them, yes, you could be useful to them in future. And if you do show them, yes, you could be useful to them, definitely people will remember you. Don't talk about work straight away. After your introduction, just talk in general, talk about common interest, ask the question from the other person, but don't jump to your work and your interest. If you talk only about your job and work or your business, you will sound a self-centered person. So these are few powerful habits which you can use. And this was all I wanted to share, how you can take advantage of international network of JCI, not only at chapter level, but also at city level, but also at country level, but also an international level. And if you are a member, then how you can gain maximum advantage by doing networking in a right style, by nurturing your network in a proper way. So this was all I want to share with you guys, and I'm open for the question answers.
Thank you so much, sir, for that brilliant session. Definitely, I personally learned a lot of things. You told about manage your contacts and tap that to build your next big opportunity. A lot of things. I mean, I must be very thankful for you for that lovely session. Like you said, sir, now the floor is open for questions. Now you can unmute yourself. Maybe we can have about few questions. Unmute yourself and raise your questions, please.
There is one question asked from the chat box.
Mr. Jayakoti, will you be able to?
Can we read it out? Or?
Yes, please read it out so I can focus on replying.
Okay. There are two questions from Jayakoti.
Okay.
One is any points on how to handle difficult personalities.
Okay.
And there is a following up question. There may be people who have common interest, but sometimes opportunities are from other categories. How to recognize those categories?
Okay. Now there are a couple of things. First, handling difficult person. Handling difficult person is difficult when we carry a big ego. The ego clash is the only reason of seeing the difficulty in other person. As a leader, I must keep my ego aside. If I want to gain, if customer steps in my shop, I keep my ego aside because I see a personal interest of my business. Even if customer is angry, I try to pacify my customer because I see an opportunity therein. Similarly, when I see a prospective customer, or even if I do not see a prospective customer, while connecting with people, being a leader, I keep my egos aside. Once I keep my egos aside, there will not be any difficulty handling people. Okay. People are not difficult. The way we handle them, it's complicated, and that makes a difficult situation. Okay. There was two things, and that's an interesting question. Suppose you go to a community and you find that there are 3-4 people with whom you share your common interest, and there are 3-4 people who you are interested so far as their business category is concerned, but you may not share any common interest. I do not agree with it. Generally, when I'm in my comfort zone, I like 3, 4, 5 people with whom I'm very close, and I want to stay with them because I like to party with them. I want to spend my time with them. But there are many other people. I give you another example. Like, I am a Rotary Club member for last 19 years, but I'm active in Rotary for last 5 years. Okay. And there were quite a few people I used to think that I do not gel with these people. Most of them are elder to me, 5 to 10 years elder to me. And I never believed that we share any common interest. And in 2015, I was approached for a training program of a District 3054. And then I started connecting with those people. And then 2016, I became secretary of Rotary Club, which is the second largest chapter of India. We have 458 members in our club. And I was secretary in 2016. And when I became secretary, I started interacting with those people. And then I started finding some common interest. And these 5-7 people are very good friends of mine right now. We went outside India together, and I started getting some business from them as well. So once you start explaining, even the worst enemy of yours, you can find few common interests. You need to explore, you need to have patience, you need to connect with them. Unless you connect with them, you cannot discover those common interests.
And so there's another question, a following up question from him. What if the other party with ego the other party basically has ego. That's what he's asking.
The other party has ego.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfectly fine. I told you in my presentation that when you meet somebody, you exchange the cards, you introduce each other, and within 24 hours, you are, connecting with that person, and then on monthly basis, you are sending some messages. But in return, you are not getting messages. You should stop. You should stop. That's very simple, because you will be in last 5, 10, let's say last 10 years, I might have met 2,000 people. Doesn't mean I could create a relationship with all 2,000 people. Maybe I'm in touch with 400 or 500 people. So there could be few people who may not be interested. Why they will not be interested? Because of two reasons. You are not useful to them. They do not see any interest in them. The way you do not connect with such people whom you do not find interesting, whom you do not find of any use. So you would not like to connect with them. Similarly, there could be people who do not see any future business opportunity with you, or who are not impressed with you. So what I told you, when you meet people, you connect with people, you show you present yourself in such a way that you could show that yes, I can be useful to you. Once I show them I can be useful to you, there was a JC member in our chapter in 2006. I give you an example. 2006. He's a big businessman. He is a big builder. He has many multi-story building in our own town and 2 big shopping malls. Okay. He has at least 40, 50 petrol pumps in India. He's a big businessman. And he was a very good friend of mine in JCI. We used to be part of few parties. And in 2005 or 6, he referred me a case of taxation. It was some vendor of him, but he never came for any consultancy. But after 14 years, this year, he approached me. He was starting a new business, a big business venture. He offered me, and we registered a company for him. So you never know. Keep nurturing the business. Do not allow your business context to get obsolete. You never know when it gives you a big business. Okay. So sometimes you have to keep your ego aside. And if the other person think that you are not useful to them, just set them free. Tomorrow, if they realize our importance, they'll come back to us. Keep hunting for new people.
Hello, this is Jayakodi from Sri Lanka. So first of all, let me thank you. This is a very, very fruitful session that I had, and you were exactly reading my mind, and you are giving the points that exactly I have gone through my career. So let me present some of my challenges what I have faced. First of all, again, I would like to thank you being a chartered accountant and having a wide range of clients, because I'm a chartered accountant and my accountant as well from Sri Lanka. Okay, sometimes when we negotiate, when we get introduced to people, they find us as superior to them, and they just get their ego up, and they just want us to be in a corner. So they just keep us in a corner because they think that, like, if we come, it's a threat to them. So for us, it's not the case. For us, like, we are going to smiley face, everything. But those people are rejecting us. Not only that, sometimes they just giving the rumors to others. If these people come, blah, 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 things like that. So what's your experience regarding this? Thank you.
What I do with such people, as I told you, as a businessman, if I want to succeed, I should keep my ego slightly lower. Okay. If I keep my ego higher, I won't get much business. And if I could spot few people around me who are having high ego and who are threatened by my presence, I should be more diplomatic over there. What should I do? I also have such people, but I take initiative. Wherever I enter meeting, I smile. I bow my head in front of them. I praise them. I talk about their achievements. I praise them. I congratulate them for what they have done. So once I started doing that, in couple of meetings, they do not see a threat in me. they start seeing a friend in me. I know that's pretty difficult because I have to sacrifice my ego for that. But trust me, if you do that, 9 out of 10 times you'll succeed.
Yeah, very, very good strategy. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. We have time for one more question.
There is another question.
We have a question. Yes.
Chat box here. Tariq, you want to tell or I do?
Yes, this is from, this is about what's your view on new normal after COVID? How will JCI network will help each other to face challenges in the new norm?
On the new?
Normal.
On the new norm. This is post-COVID. How can JCI network help each other?
These days, you know, I am part of various social organizations. As I told you, I am in JCI, I am in Rotary Club, I am in Lions, and I am in BNI as well. And all these days, we are connecting online with each other. Keeping that relationship. You know that the crisis is not going to long last. It may be for a few months. Corona may exist for 1 or 1.5 years, but our life will come to normalcy with certain restrictions. We'll start meeting each other with certain social restrictions. But in next couple of months, do not let your network get fade. In last 45 days, it's almost 35 days I'm sitting at home. I talk to almost each and every client I have. I connected through WhatsApp all my prospectives, all my contacts. By conducting my seminars, I'm constantly connecting with people. So right now we have only one option, that you can connect people online, keep talking to them, keep sharing messages which are of interest to them, and maybe maximum within a couple of months, things would be normal. We'll start connecting with each other physically and things will be as normal as they were.
Thank you so much, sir. That comes to an end our Q&A session. Now it's time for feedback. Before that, I would like to recognize the presence of our National President for 2020, Dilhan Jayatilaka, and also past President JCI Senator Bimal Liyanage. I would like to recognize both of you. Thank you for your presence, sir. And now I would like to go for the next item in the agenda, which is feedback. I would like our immediate past National President Anas Hussain to give a feedback about this session. Senator Anas Hussain.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you.
So thank you so much, JCI Colombo, for organizing this, and JCI Senator Pritam Goswami for the wonderful session. And I was listening for the entire session that you had for almost 1 hour, and it is useful. And it's very much. This is indeed a very much good session that all the JCI should go through. I think as entrepreneurs, and the beauty of JCI is actually this is with this presentation, everyone can understand what an organization of JCI is, connecting each other and connecting to all the other JCI networks around the world in your region is very much useful in terms of your connectivity and your business as well as your personal contacts. So thank you very much for coming up today. This session, JCI Colombo, for organizing this.
Thank you, Senator Anas Hussain. Now I would like to request for feedback from our International Vice President 2015, JCI Senator Khalilur Rahman, sir.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible, sir.
It was wonderfully organized. It's a need of the time. And I have to thank the host, JCI Colombo. And what I can say is you should build your business network and everything within the principles of JCI International, as well as, we are the organization who wants to have who is the larger global network. We are spreading out as a trainer well said. You have to be honest. You have to have you have to be consistent on what you are doing it, and then the relationship will be continued with the networking. And once again, it was a wonderful session, and it's well organized. Thank you, Tariq.
Thank you, sir. Just one more feedback. I would like to request our APDC for Asia Pacific region, Harishavardhan Reddy, just to speak a few words.
Hello, Tariq. Good evening, JCI Sri Lanka. So, good evening, Pritham sir. How are you?
Good evening. I'm fine.
It was an awesome session. So today we have continuous sessions in our zone actually, but still I want to listen to you. Okay. And it was really awesome, and have given clear picture about JCI and how you got benefit out of JCI and all. It was really awesome. I think it's really motivating for JCIs of Sri Lanka. And wonderful initiative, Tariq and JCI Colombo. And all the best for your future prospect. And hi, Nestle President and IPNP Anas. Good to hear from you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Harsha. And now it's time to go on to the next item of our agenda. I request our Secretary JC Vedya Samarnayaka to convey the vote of thanks. Over to you, our Secretary Vedya.
Thank you, Tariq. It is a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks to a forum of local and international participants. Let me first of all start by giving glory to God for making this event a success amidst of all the challenges faced during a lockdown period. First and foremost, I thank our international trainer, motivational speaker, JCI Senator Pritham Goswami for allocating time and educating us on a timely topic, the value of JCI for entrepreneurs despite his busy schedule. Our gratitude to LOM presidents of Bangladesh, India and Nepal for encouraging their members' participation. A special thank you to 2015 International Vice President, JCI Senator Khalil Ar-Rahman, National President of JCI Sri Lanka, JC Dilhanja Tilaka, and all the non-members who have been attending this forum while preparing for another workshop, which is to commence in a few minutes. I thank all the participants, all the senators joining us today, both locally and internationally, by investing their time. I believe it was a benefiting one. Last but not least, I thank the board of JCI Colombo for their enthusiasm to pull off any project at any given time. Thank you all once again for your attention. Stay safe, stay indoors. Thank you, and may God bless you. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Sanduni. Now we move on to the item. Right. Okay. It's just about time to wind up. Before that, I just wanted to once again thank Pritham sir for allocating your precious time to and giving it to us to hold this session. Without you, this this session wouldn't have really happened, and then all these participants wouldn't have benefited, out of whatever the message that you gave in terms of how you build your network and how JCI can help you build the network. Thank you so much. It was so helpful. Personally, I learned a lot. I will definitely use it into my work life as well. Thank you so much, sir. And also, I would like to thank everybody who joined in today. On a Sunday or holiday, allocating your time. Thank you so much. Your presence actually made this event a successful one. Thank you so very much. Sir, that's all we have for today. Sir, anything you would like to say, sir, before we terminate the session?
It was wonderful talking to everyone, and people were so curious to know, and the kind of patient listening which I observed, it was awesome. And it was, this is the beauty of JCI, that you can connect with people with different countries. That's the only platform I have. It is the brotherhood of man transcends the sovereignty of nation. So we prove it through this. Thank you so much for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to interact with your JCI Sri Lanka member. Thank you so much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Now I terminate the value of JCI Entrepreneurs Seminar of JCI Colombo at 5:57 p.m.